It's just the mess. My news is real.
Child, the ghetto.
This is the Rumor Report.
So my news is real.
Allegedly on The Breakfast Club.
Ooh, honey, it's ghetto up in here.
Jessica White says her relationship with Nick Cannon was emotionally abusive. In an exclusive interview with Page Six, Jessica White opened up again about her relationship with Nick Cannon, and we have audio for it. Let's play it.
I went through an emotionally abusive relationship, and everybody goes through it. I'm just the first person in Hollywood to talk about it and not try to make a pretty picture of it. Telling my truth is also telling my ex's truth, and it isn't pretty. So I didn't want to throw him under the bus fully because I do believe in protecting black men. And that's just me being a black woman, which is partially the reason why you should just not protect and just protect yourself. And I've learned that now since that post. And sometimes you live and you learn. Don't be insanely loyal to someone who wouldn't be loyal to you. And he has never been loyal to me, and that's a fact.
Okay, well, I mean, we know this. I want to disagree with a couple things. You are not the first person to tell your story about a relationship that you felt like you were done wrong in Hollywood. You're not. You're just the first of Nick Cannon's exes, I guess, to do so. Well, not even the first. Christina Milian was actually the first or whatever. But dang, he said he wasn't even with her. Anyway, back to Jessica. And it's not necessarily... if you tell your truth, you're telling your ex's truth, because we need to hear both sides. And then it's also a third side, because it could be looked at from, an unbiased opinion.
Her side, his side, and the truth.
And
usually.
the truth,
right.
And then in a recent Instagram post, she wrote a message that people believe it was directed to Nick Cannon. It said, "I wanted it to work. I prayed every day that you'd see me and love me the way that I loved you. Maybe you did, but just kept it from me during the relationship. I walked away with more questions than anything. I don't know till this day why current things had to happen." She later said that she regrets posting that message publicly because she should have saved it for the book and got paid for it. She recently announced that she's writing a book, and she said the chapter on Nick is going to be very, very short. And I guess that's because in the same interview, she claimed that she was tired of talking about Nick. We have that too.
Be honest, girl. If Nick came was like...
I'm not ever going back, and that's the facts.
A lot of girls do go back, though.
No,
how do you avoid it?
I've gone back. That's the thing. I've done this beyond, So I lived that story, and now I'm living a story outside of him. I'm having so much fun without him, and I'm better without him. And I don't need all that energy and all that. I'm done. I'm so tired of talking about Nick.
Okay.
I really want to move past this, because I don't want the next guy to come in and think he's competing with that energy, because he isn't. I'm over it, and I just want for the world to see me and ask me questions outside of him at this point.
Baby, the only person that's going to make the new man feel like he has to stand up next to and fill Nick Cannon's shoes are you. You talk about this man. You've been talking about this man since you guys broke up, and he has never said a thing back to you. And it's like, you talking about you tired of talking about Nick Cannon. That's like me saying, I'm so tired of coming to Breakfast Club. I'm really not. And I come up here every time I can, even when they say don't come, I'm here. When don't nobody ask about Nick Cannon, Jessica White, Nick, Nickelodeon. Like, it's always being talked about, I'm not at all diminishing how she feels about being emotionally abusive, but this is the thing. They were together for 5 years, from 2015 to 2020, although she says they've been together for 8 years. And to me, in that same time, we've also seen Nick with so many women in that period of time. You made the choice to go back, and while, it hurts you, he's never responded. I think you should just move on and not talk about it. You talking about you want to get paid. You mad because you shouldn't have said something on social media, because you should have put it in the book. Leave it alone. If you're so tired of it, we can't tell. And she's going to be on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta this upcoming season this year. And I bet to talk about Nick some more. Girl, stop watching Wildin' Out and give a new man a chance. That's it.
All right.
That's what I think we should do.
Well, she did that interview with Tashara, Page Six, too. So
shout out to Page Six. Yes. Taxstone sentenced to 35 years in prison yesterday.
Jesus.
Yeah. For y'all who don't know, Taxstone was found of manslaughter back in March for the role he played in the infamous shooting at the Irving Plaza involving Troy Ave and Troy Ave security. And here we have some audio for the story as well.
At the end, after the legal arguments were done, after it was determined that there would be consecutive sentences, after Judge Klott said that he wanted them to be consecutive to show the 4 victims additional time of state, Daryl Campbell spoke, and he said it was all Troy Ave's fault, that Troy Ave attacks anyone that attacks his music, that he's a jokester, that he only took a gun into the club in Irving Plaza to protect himself, that he always has felt that he would be attacked, therefore he had to have a gun. There was reference made to the federal case, which is pending before Judge Schofield. It's a felon in possession case. He did plead to that, and the prosecution said he only pled to that because of the potential larger exposure in federal court for not pleading out. We're going to follow that as well.
It's a sad case. I mean, he lost he's spending the next 30 years in prison, 35 years in prison. So his life is damn near lost. And then Banger, which was the security, he lost his life. So all because of really, I really say stupidity, right?
Yeah.
Because one person didn't like another person's music, and he said how he felt, and Troy Ave took it another way. And just think about it. It could have been squashed.
Yeah.
It was just an opinion.
Yeah.
It was just some social media stuff, some stuff that they talked about on the internet that could have been squashed. Hopefully it could have been squashed. Those brothers are both from Brooklyn, so it's not like they don't see each other. So it's a tragic ending in both situations.
Yeah, and it was very long and drawn out. It was a 7-year story, but I'm glad that it did finally at least come to a close. And that is just with the mess for the day.
All right. All right, when we come back, Donkey of the Day. Charlamagne is out. So if you want to give Donkey of the Day to anybody, 800-585-1051. Phone lines are wide open. Let's do it. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
In the morning.
The Breakfast Club.